You've felt it before, that strange disconnect. You're young, but something inside you feels tired, heavy, older than it should be. Not physically, but mentally, like you've already lived too much. And the question quietly lingers, why do I feel this way when others don't? You notice it in small moments, when conversations feel repetitive, when excitement fades faster than it should, when you observe more than you participate. You think more, you analyze more, you feel more. And over time, something shifts. While others seem to move lightly through life, you move with weight. This isn't just maturity, it's something deeper. Psychology calls this accelerated emotional processing. It often develops in people who experienced stress early in life, learned to read environments carefully, became emotionally self-aware too soon. Your brain adopted. It had to. Instead of exploring freely, it learned to monitor. Instead of reacting, it learned to anticipate. And that changes everything. Because when your brain is always scanning, life stops feeling new. It starts feeling familiar, even when it shouldn't. Here's the part most people get wrong. You are not too serious. You are not overthinking your youth away. You are early aware. Your brain simply reached certain conclusions sooner than others, about people, about patterns, about pain. And once you see those patterns, you can't unsee them. So while others are still discovering, you feel like you're remembering. That's why everything feels older. Not because you've lived longer, but because your brain has compressed more experience into less time. Let's slow this down. Your brain has two important systems at play here: the amygdala, which detects threat, and the prefrontal cortex, which creates meaning. When someone grows up in an environment that requires awareness, even subtle emotional tension, the amygdala becomes more active. It scans constantly. What does this mean? What might happen next? Is this safe? Then the prefrontal cortex steps in. It starts connecting dots fast, too fast. You begin forming mental models about people and life earlier than most. This creates something powerful, but costly, a mind that is highly perceptive, deeply reflective, and rarely at rest. Think of it like this. Most people walk through life like tourists. You walk through life like a strategist. You're not just experiencing the moment, you're interpreting it. And interpretation ages the mind, because instead of just living, you are constantly processing. This isn't something you need to fix, but it is something you can rebalance. First, separate awareness from identity. Right now, your awareness feels like who you are, but it's not. It's something your brain does. Instead of saying, "I am tired of everything," shift slightly. My brain is generating tired thoughts. That small shift creates space, and space reduces the feeling of mental aging. Second, reintroduce novelty. Your brain adapts quickly. The more you've processed something, the less stimulating it becomes. That's why life feels repetitive. So interrupt it. Not with big changes, but small ones. Take a different route. Learn something unrelated to who you think you are. Change your environment slightly. You're giving your brain new data, and new data restores a sense of time. Third, limit meta-thinking, thinking about your thinking. It's useful until it becomes constant, then it becomes exhausting. So create moments where thinking is not the goal, walking without analyzing, listening without interpreting, observing without labeling. You're training your brain to experience again, not just evaluate. Fourth, allow partial understanding. You don't need to fully understand everything: people, situations, yourself. Trying to resolve everything keeps your mind active, so let things remain unfinished. Let conversations end without closure. Let thoughts pass without completing them. This reduces the constant mental load. Fifth, reconnect with sensory experience. When your mind is overactive, you disconnect from your senses. You live in interpretation, not experience. But your nervous system resets through the body. Simple things: feeling textures, listening deeply, noticing your breath. This activates the body's calming system, and when the body slows, the mind follows. Here's the model to hold on to. Your mind is not old, it is over-practiced. Imagine a path in the forest. The more you walk it, the deeper it becomes. Your brain has walked the path of awareness, pattern recognition, and reflection so many times that it feels like the only path. But it's not. There are other paths: sensation, curiosity, presence. They're just less used, so they feel unfamiliar. Not because they're wrong, but because they're quiet, and your mind is used to noise. You don't feel older because something is wrong with you. You feel older because your mind learned early how to make sense of the world. But you don't have to carry that weight all the time. You can set it down, not by becoming someone else, but by allowing yourself to experience life without always needing to understand it. And slowly, the heaviness softens. Time feels wider. Moments feel less compressed. Not because life changed, but because you stopped trying to process it all at once. And in that space, you don't feel older anymore. You just feel here.